What are some of the best Saga champions for arcade games? Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. Saga champions. As we know, the most recent boost has been the one that's Magica orientated. This is going to be important because I don't know if Kabam will run... What the fuck? God, these are red arrows! What the hell? Yes, sorry for that outburst. By the way, if anybody doesn't know, this is kind of like wondering what the red arrows are. It's basically a formation, exhibition-y type aircraft ensemble. I know that's probably the best way to kind of describe it, but that was honestly so weird. When I'm trying to record videos, things happen. It's a good thing. It livens up the content and the videos when stuff happens, but yeah, it just flew right past my window. Such a weird thing. Weird things. Aurora Borealis one week. M gets attacked by a moth the other day. I know everything's happening here. Right, to the point, Rich. Yeah. Look, Saga Champions. I put a link in the description to a spreadsheet I'm going to be referring to, which has some of the best pointed out. They're in the second tab, and that is cool. But I want to give a massive shout out to Misty K and this particular... I'm trying to get everything. There we go. So, House of Mirrors and Clarity Champions. There's some odd ones in the bunch. There's still ones yet to be announced. There's some good champions in here from an attack perspective that are going to be really beneficial. There's some top picks that I have, and there's some top picks I think a lot of other people have as well to utilize in this one. Whether or not you're utilizing them for the likes of... If they get the attack bonus, because you do know, we don't know. Why does it say that modes Alliance War? But I think this is everybody benefits from the Saga Champion boost. But anyone that benefits from the Saga Champion boost is either going to be utility orientated, doing damage over time debuffs, doing just a nice damage ramp up, good for attacking in Battlegrounds, and so many more things. So that's what we're going to point out in this video. I put a link in the description to Misty K's infographic, really good. There's also a further write-up on some other things as well, going into details about House of Mirrors and Clarity and the best kind of, well, you know, process for stuff in like Alliance Wars, Tactics and Defenders. So at least it gives you a bit more perspective on that, which is currently in game. So who are some of these amazing champions that you would say are some of the best champions? Now, I haven't put every single champion because I'm sure people will say, well, Rich, I played this champion specifically well, and if there's one I've missed out or kind of like I've not given, you know, props to, then put it in the comments and someone else could see it and it would help out them. But yeah, there's a lot. I've revamped this different to the last Saga video I did, and we're going to go into a little bit more detail. There are some kind of, I think it's overlap. I can't remember if, yeah, like, I said the wrong name now. Bullseye is an ex-Magica champion, but also is a defensive Clarity champion, but is still a Saga attacker and defender that would benefit from the boost, as per the top thing there, which is that attack and health Saga attackers and Saga defenders benefit from the attack, from a 10% attack and health. So that's you know, really important as well to mention. So they'll benefit from that one. And yeah, you could say some of the champions could be paired up and put in defense, the ones in the list right there. But I think Bullseye is going to cover a lot of bases, especially with some of his abilities. He does have things like, you know, but he can bleed. Great, fantastic. Also an extensive amount of damage in his kit, and also being able to bypassing miss, which is just darn good for certain interactions. Just to quickly go over some like really decent utility options. That's one of the big things I'm going to be looking at this time around. Is I love interaction. Like one of my standout champions for this that I massively rate, and I always massively rate, it's a rank 5 6-star ascended for me, a champion I use all the time in Alliance Wars attack, and also a champion I've used across the board is a Mega Sentinel. We're talking miss counter, heal block. We're talking the prowess suppression, complete just shutdown of any kind of mutant-based champion. And sometimes on my particular path, there's a protection up, which I just... Sometimes it's difficult because they have that immunity, that debuff immunity, that I'm not able to put my tracking debuff on. So what I'll do a lot of the time is I will largely kind of work through it and try not to miscounter to remove that protection, or kind of like not go down that route. So I always have that miscounter on, And I'm not saying it's the best option, but it's an option that I use a lot of the time, and it's just a fantastic option. Also, like an alternative option to take down Sasquatch. If the champion's going to regen a lot, hey, debuff, heal block debuff that you can just kind of like put on the enemy. But she is amongst a lot of other champions. A lot of classic champions are kind of really cool for this. There's not a huge amount of buff suppression options, but it's not necessarily a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing. And one of the ones I like for buff suppression, which is within the Saga, orientation, is Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic does have Stagger as part of his kit. It's not the best to rotate around, but it works. It also could be a great champion, same with Odin, to put pre-fights on. Odin is one of the champions that is listed within Clarity, so of course he benefits from the bonus attack and health for it. So of course that extends to things like incursions. The same thing with incursions with the likes of Deathless King Groot. Deathless King Groot is another great option. I do like the champion. I'm excited to put more signatures in him. And also, like, it's weird because he's up for another month. He's next Magica, going into arcade games as being another option. So again, there's overlap. I think the great thing about this particular arcade games is expanding into the tech territory and tech champions being an option for players. If you like power control, then you've got Penny Parker, you've got Guillotine 2099, and you've got Infamous Iron Man. There are others, by the way, in this list. You know, what, Spider-Man 29, Spider-Man Stark in Hands, and also Hulkbuster off the SP2, to name just that. And Deathless Vision. Still don't know the abilities of that. Excited to find out the future with that one. And of course, like, I have kind of not mentioned future Ant-Man. Still another great option. And of course, you could do similar things with power control with Mysterio. I think I should have put that in. I think there's one mistake I kind of like made with this video is probably not putting into the spreadsheet. Maybe I'll do it. The spreadsheet will be adapted and improved as time goes on, especially as I get to experiment. And I'll add more into this sector here with utility and power control with Mysterium and other things like that. So yeah, we can do that right there. That's no problemo. But I'm excited as well to dust off a lot of champions for interaction purposes. Angela is one of those champions that I do absolutely love, especially at 200 signature and having a lot of buffs on her. It means that she's able to nullify an auto block ability accuracy. So that again is so important, and damaging debuff duration. So she becomes a powerhouse. There's also going to be other champions that maybe I personally haven't played around with, but I hear from you lovely people that there's different, they are effective. And one of the ones that is screaming out, I mean, I've got to do something with Gladiator. That's another rank 2. I'm working on my stuff over the weekend, but I've got to get into the garden in a minute and do some work. But Vox, now where's my Vox? I'm pretty certain I've got a Vox somewhere, maybe only if it's 5-star. Maybe I'll skip past it, but Vox. Yeah, Vox is another one of those champions. Oh, maybe I don't have one then. Sad times. Oh, that's sad. Well, Vox. A lot of people rave about Vox. So, yeah, that's another option. Also, Scorpion. Scorpion's another great, fantastic champion that is in the mix for this one. So, look, it may be worth me rank 5ing that champion as well. Also, don't write off another few classics. Aegon is another one. So, if you're looking for an opportunity this month with Aegon to do something like Necropolis, then go do that. As I skip past him, there he is. Aegon benefits from extra attack. Go and do Necropolis. It's going to be another kind of like great option for the month to go do that. Also, there is Shuri. Yeah, Shuri, another great option. You know, that's a rank 2 7-star that massively helped me out in doing Necropolis. But a general champion in general that is just, again, potent and fantastic for the shock damage, passive shock damage, and yeah, just kind of like an annoying champion, but also a good champion on interaction, so that's exciting. As well as so many others. There's so many to list that are just really effective. You know, Gore is going to be frustrating. Another personal favourite of mine is Overseer, so I'm glad to see Overseer. I think was my first ever 6-star rank 5, and maybe the first champion I ascended. This one just does a great amount of damage in a very short space of time, and I think with that damage ramp up, that is going to be great. We're going to see some lovely like extra burst damage. That is going to pop off. That extra 10% attack. Great. I'm going to see you know, massive W with that one. There's a few others as well, especially from a Battlegrounds perspective. You want a quick ramp and rotation, or safe ramp and rotation. Get to an SP3 with Overseer, throw in that SP3, and then hit a relic off. So you got the passive stun, hit an SP3, and as soon as it's finished with that SP3, you're in, doing a load of damage in a very short succession of time. The same thing can be quick ramp up with Hyperium, and also another favourite on the front of like dot damage is Black Widow Deadly Origin, which again for another month is for another saga is X Magica, going into being arcade games. So yes, exciting. Lots of champions I didn't mention, but it's very difficult to fit in every single champion into one video without it being super long. But those are some of my top picks, as I said, to different categories, which you can see on screen right now. I'll put a link to the spreadsheet, and also my top 10, which I'll probably go over in a bit more detail and add a bit more to it in the coming days. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you. Check out some other content located on screen, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye for now, and have a lovely weekend.